What's the deal, y'all? First thing I want to say, I appreciate y'all for showing love on the last few videos and people that I talked to outside of YouTube or whatnot. I appreciate y'all for just watching the videos or even showing up. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I was able to actually teach a few people a few things. I hope that when I do these trade reviews and that when I post my videos, I'm explaining it in a way that y'all understand. You know, and if you end up needing some more help, like I said, just DM me. But it's Monday. It is Monday, July 13th. I'm gonna just jump on here and do this trade review real quick. It's a small one because I actually did not trade. It was actually a no trade day for me, but I was on the charts. I was there. I was present. Always show up, even when you ain't trading that day, or even when you don't plan on trading. Whatever ticker, whatever market you trade, make sure that you there on the hours that you want to trade. Like whatever time, whenever you're free and whenever you actually can dial in and sit on the charts and be there for the charts, you know what I mean? Be there. Show up consistently, you know what I mean? So you can get to actually know how that market move and what it does. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump in this trade review. I wanna make it quick. And just show y'all what I was looking for, what my mom was thinking, even though I did not plan on trading my eval accounts. I do got two fresh new accounts. The funded that I told y'all about last week that we passed actually is boom. I'll tell y'all why in the next video. I'm gonna drop a few videos this week. I just have not had time to really edit and just post videos, but I'm gonna be back consistent with it. I promise. Not just for y'all, but just for me, for real. But like I said, let me jump into the trade review and yeah. Okay, so boom. We actually in the 15-minute time frame. I'm gonna show y'all this trade real quick and what I was thinking. So last week we pretty much just had a crazy bull run, and we were trending. We were in a bullish trend, and longs were playing out for sure. I was catching shorts. I know I was catching shorts. I think shorts. I don't know. I kind of favor shorts sometimes because I don't know why. I just favor shorts, but I love longs too. I mean, your setups there, your setups there. You know, my day traders know. But let me get into this trade review. Like I said, I'm on the 15-minute time frame, so pretty much. As y'all know, I trade New York Open, which is 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern. I'm pretty sure, but um, here I'm just looking. One second, it's 9 o'clock right here. I actually showed up a little bit late to the charts today, so my charts are glitching as always, bro. Trading view, fix your shit, please. Um, okay, so boom. Now we actually in our 5 minute time frame. So during market open, I was already pretty bearish. We never filled new week open gap. I know everybody was probably targeting that, but we clearly displayed that we didn't want to trade into it yesterday. And if we wanted to trade into it today, we would show that. But there were no clear signs. There were, but there wasn't. Honestly, I was just sitting there pretty much not really biased, but I was definitely bearish. So we get in our 1 minute time frame. Pretty much what I'm looking for is any fair value gaps or any higher time frame PD arrays that are showing me and giving me context for what the next move is. So just off of this right here and just us not being able to fill up that new week open gap, we wicked it out. But if you get in the smaller time frames, we still got, like I said, yesterday and overnight or whatever, we just did not fill that opening gap, that new week opening gap. And we had, with this week, we had quite a bit of a gap to fill. We were around 34, 35, 30 points away from actually closing above it and really filling that gap. I don't consider a wick really a fill, but we're clearly bearish as the night goes on, as the pre-market goes on in London session, whatever. We swept Asia low, London low, New York AM low. Our next targets would be New York low from last week and London low from here. And then if we kept on falling, we would obviously still be targeting Asia low and whatnot from the 9th, which was last Thursday. So I'm just sitting here looking at my higher time frame and my lower time frame. I want to look at whatever PD arrays are giving me signs of what our next move is. To me, this is kind of anticipating a lower high right here because we clearly failed to gain that new week opening gap, and then we just displaced lower crazy from there, and we swept this, breaking into indication that we broke these lows. So at this point, I'm a little concerned for buys. I'm not really biased at this point. We also got this sell side. We got this inefficiency right here, buy side, sell side inefficiency. 4 hour fair value gap, blase, blase. Let me go ahead and mark this out for y'all. Not a demand. Go ahead, try our encroachment. Okay, so right here, I'm pretty much just waiting for market open. I want to see price manipulate during market open and then either trade higher or trade even lower. So I'm marking out 15-minute, 1 hour, 5 minute fair value gaps, anything that I can use to give me context on what's going to happen during market open. But I usually wait for the first move during market open because it's just not ideal to trade because it's just low probability. So we pretty much just waiting for market open, and we want to see some type of structure be developed before we start taking trades. So I'm looking at 5 minute and 15-minute fair value gaps, honestly. And like I said, I am bearish because when market opens and have its first initial move, it usually is a manipulative move up. We could flip bullish for the day if we did, if I wanted to switch to buys, but me personally today, just the way I felt and what I seen and how the market's going, especially with Trump tweets and just everything else into consideration, I'm definitely bearish when market opens. So I'm just sitting here waiting for market to open. I'm also marking out my liquidity zones. I wanted to see this low and all these accumulated engineered lows right here during London session. And then we also have these lows over here from last week, all trend line liquidity lows. So they definitely could be taken with ease. So that's definitely something to look at, which was what I was worried about this morning. So I really wasn't bullish at all. Was there buys to catch? Of course, I did see a lot of people taking buys today, but that's specific. That is why I wanted to take this trade, make this trade review as well, just because sometimes you gotta have your own narrative. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box and think about what the market makers are doing and not just what you think should happen. You know what I mean? Like it is high probability for us to have a good long setup for today after the way market open. If you were on the charts this morning, definitely for sure. But we're just sitting here waiting for market open pretty much. I want to see us respect some type of higher time frame PD array. So right here we displaced to the bottom off of this 5 minute fair value gap. I know it's not much, but that's literally where we manipulated up into, because the first 5 minutes usually be manipulation, and then we pretty much just wicked that out and just crashed all the way down. So this itself could have been a trade. You could have got in right here, held all the way to these lows if you wanted to, which was risky. I just wait for the first 5 minutes to open. As y'all see, we were displacing lower during market open, so I'm already looking at that. We pretty much swept all this liquidity. I did not get into these trades, so I pretty much missed out on those entries. I wasn't too worried about it because, yeah, it was No News Monday. So No News Mondays are pretty much just when Forex Factory does not have a folder, an economic folder, or event that'll display data for us to trade off of, because we trade big moves. We trade New York Open. I want to be in the market when the market makers, well, not when the market makers. I want to be in the market when the financial institutions step in and they start putting their positions, making their positions and whatnot, and they're really controlling the market. I want to be on that side of the market. Okay, so boom, we do sweep this London low, kind of in a wickish momentum, but I'm still looking for for sales, because our first move was a 15-minute displacement and a 5-minute displacement. So I'm pretty much just looking at this fair value gap right here to get respected in the next few moves and see what we're gonna do. And our next liquidity zone would be buy side liquidity up here before market open. So if we were gonna go long, these would be our targets, of course. But I was already a bearish mindset. I figured we switched market flow. So I'm pretty much just looking at this 15-minute fair value gap after market open. And even though I did say I usually wait for the first move to be manipulation and then catch the other move up, we could have caught buys to the top of here after we swept liquidity and got an inversion. But I did not want that to happen. I kind of was anticipating a lower high and then a lower low because we did not sweep these lows completely. So right here, we started displacing up to the top, and I'm pretty sure everybody was looking for buys around this when this was going on, and the market started showing that we actually wanted to switch to the bias that it should have been. NQ was just doing a lot of random odd things this morning, but we're pretty much just sitting here waiting for a retrace into that into either this 2-minute fair value gap or that 15-minute fair value gap, and respect it and not close above so we could still be short pretty much. Oh yeah, and also we were gonna get in right here, but like I said, it was just a no trade day. I didn't want to get into any position while the market was moving because this could have been a fake move and it really could have been a bullish day, but I'm not sure what was going on with the markets. But at this point, since I'm pretty bearish, I'm looking for bearish PDA rates to get respected, and I went ahead and jumped to my 2-minute time frame and my 1-minute time frame, looking for any order blocks or any rejections off of any of my key zones. So we actually get this retracement into. We actually get these retracements up into here. So at this point, I'm at our 5-minute and our 15-minute time frame, and I'm predicting us to come up here, pretty much make this lower high, and then continue on lower to trade into last week's lows, London, Asia, New York AM, blase, because we did come down here and sweep them, but we kind of just wicked out. Right here, we did sweep, but there's more lows down here. So when there's relative equal lows and you're getting closer on your drawn liquidity and it's getting closer and closer on them higher time frame levels, it's definitely not something to ignore. So I'm looking at our 3-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute time frames, pretty much just predicting the lower high to get made. We ended up getting this retracement up into here. We were gonna take position on paper trade right here and then hold down to these zones. This swing high being our stop loss. Well, above this inversion from this morning. But we just did not take that off the simple fact that it's no news Monday and it's lower probability. But we did end up hitting TPs on this. It was a great idea, but it did not run the full TP. So clearly displaying that we did not want to trade any lower. Pretty bearish on the higher time frames. Longs could have played out for sure. I definitely seen a long setup that a lot of people got wrecked on just because it's a low probability. Trump tweeted and that candle pretty much made TPs for this. But like I said, I was already bearish for the day. I was anticipating that lower low to be made, and it just got put in a different way. But actually, we kept on trading higher for the rest of the session a little bit, and then we completely just dumped off and ran for the real draw on liquidity, as spoken to earlier, and kind of just chopped around accumulating positions right here in this little 100-point range, 115-point range, and then just do whatever for the day. But I just wanted to get on here, give y'all this trade review. Like I said, I know it was vague, I know it was faint, but if you want to know more about what I look for during my trades and New York sessions, just DM me and I'll get back to you guys with questions if you have any. No news Mondays, we do not trade. This is why, because they're lower probability. Let me actually show you guys what long setups could have been taken, because it was also a great play. So we get a sweep of London low, but we get a sweep of London low and we get a sweep of this data wick low. And then over here we get our 1-minute IFVG right here. This is the only long setup that I said that I seen that I pretty much called out that I would have taken. But just because I was bearish, I really did not want to take longs because I already had my bias for the day, and with news and everything going on, I definitely wouldn't have forced a long, but longs were definitely there. So could have took this long, took a little profits from it. It wasn't a bad long, it was a great play. But as y'all know, if y'all were on the charts, soon as Trump tweeted right here, instant stop loss just hit and it pretty much wrecked everybody that went long. Market hunting liquidity per usual. NASDAQ just being manipulative. And then we turtle soup this in the 1 minute, not closing below, pretty much just turtling it in a wick, and then start displacing higher off of that, and then finally come down and crash. We've been doing this a lot here recently, like the past few weeks, and during New York session, like we literally come up, make a high for the day, manipulate up higher, sell off, or we buy hella high, and then we just fall off and crash. And we're just mere not taking levels that we should be taking, if that makes sense. Like we just been it's been real iffy, low probability, but you just gotta adjust as a day trader and be there for those moments that you get to learn like this, and just see what market does, because over time this is really an experience game. It's not about the best strategy or whatnot. It's about your confidence, about your edge, about your discipline, about following your rules and not forcing everything every single day. But like I said, I'm gonna get those videos published for y'all on how I blew that funded account. And this is today's trade review, and I hope y'all had a good day. Peace.